What's going on, beautiful people? The Black Hokage here, aka TBH, and to be honest, the video you're about to witness is the video version of the Gaming Illuminati podcast, episode 107. We talk about Ghost of Tsushima's multiplayer, Genshin Impact, the PS5, and the latest news going on there, as well as a bunch of other gaming news that happened. But before we get into that, I wanted to let you guys know that GI has new merch available. We have a new hoodie. I don't know if you can see that. My mic is all in the way. Hold up. And if you would like to cop a GI hoodie, if you would like to support the kid, there will be a link in the description box below, as well as a link to all my social media pages if you want to follow me on social media, because that's the best way to keep up with the latest videos, streams, and memes. But yeah, just wanted to do a quick intro to let everyone know that there is new GI merch available. Cop a hoodie, support the kid. Link in the description box below. Here's one more look. Bam. All right, roll the tape. What's going on, internet? The Black Hokage here, aka TVH, and beyond. I'd like to welcome you guys back to the Gaming Illuminati podcast. We are the Enlightened Gamers, and this is episode 107. If you're watching the video version, know that this show is available on Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, and all other major podcast platforms. Before we get into it, I would like to remind everyone to rate this show 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. Your 5-star rating helps us move up the algorithm and, brings in new listeners, new viewers, and we always trying to grow. Now, let me introduce you to my co-host, the first of which is currently on speed dial for Ace because apparently it's his responsibility to teach Ace how to be a daddy. UTX Papa the Don, say what up to the people.
Hello. We are back for yet another podcast, and what a great time to be a gamer because, boy, oh boy, these games are going to be hitting hard, son, in the next couple of months.
November about to be rough, boy. But the content gonna be fire. My second co-host, he recently announced on Twitter you can gain early access to the latest build of his game, Samurai Zero, and he has merch available. All you gotta do is back his studio at patreon.com/neointeractive. Ethos, say what up to the people.
Yo, what up, everybody? It's your boy. We got the Samurai Zero build, so for all the haters that thought it would never come, it's here. So y'all can shut up and leave me alone.
True. And our guest for today, he's a Patreon backer, which we always appreciate. He goes by 17 Ya. Which, can you explain that name? What does that mean, first of all?
Okay. All right. So 17 is like my, I guess you could say, angel number. I just see that number in so many facets of my life. It's kind of a long story. So I'm just going to say that to
You mean like your lucky number?
I guess you could say that, yeah, but
gotcha. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
And then the "yeah" is just a expression.
Yeah, and what's the name? Shout out your social medias or anything you want to, if there's anything you want to put out there for the people.
Oh, okay, yes. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all at 17 Yeah, exactly how you see it. And my main platform that I put content on is Twitch, and I stream Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays.
There you have it. And if you want to appear on the next show, be sure to back us on Patreon at patreon.com/GI updates, and you too can appear on an episode. All right, before we get into the show, a couple quick updates, free games. I was looking around, but at the point in which we're recording right now, the PSN Plus free games and the Xbox Games for Gold have not been announced. Not that, honestly, I don't think it really that matters that much because next-gen consoles are coming out next month in games. So I doubt too many people are going to be playing these free games. But there are some free games on PC, the Epic Game Store. A bunch of spooky games, Costume Quest 2, Layer of Fear 2, Blair Witch, and Ghostbusters, the video game remastered. And then before the opening conversations, just a couple delays. Apex Legends on Switch, it got delayed. So if you were looking forward to that, you ain't going to be playing it anytime soon. Basically, they said they didn't want to rush it. COVID is slowing down the development of everything, and then they got season 7 coming, so I'd imagine they want to focus on that. So you're gonna have to wait for that Switch version. And then some of the most devastating news is Amazon's Crucible. That game got canceled since the last podcast. What's that doing for you, Ethos?
I'm sorry that your game got canceled, guys. I could tell you guys put a lot of hard work into it, and it wasn't a good game. But
I can tell you were like being serious or sarcastic. You can say you put a lot of time and effort into it.
You tried. I feel like I'm the Simpson meme with the "Hey, you tried," and then just throw the cake in the trash. Like, yeah. At least you tried.
Do you have any fond memories with this game, JG?
Yeah, I remember playing it one day and then not playing it anymore.
Not wanting to play it anymore.
Yeah, I'm sorry. This game was pretty much DOA. Like, they tried and they failed miserably. It had potential, like a little bit of potential, but it was very, very rough.
What about you, 17? Did you ever get a chance to play Crucible?
I'm gonna keep it all the way funky with y'all. I ain't even heard of that game, to be honest.
You're lucky. You didn't miss
Jeff
the
Bezos, get on your job. All right, opening conversations. Let's get into it. Since the last podcast, Ghost of Tsushima dropped an 8 gigabyte update, which is amazing because Call of Duty comes out with a 200 gigabyte update every day, and for some reason that game just still can barely run well. But Ghost of Tsushima came out with an 8 gigabyte update, and it added multiplayer to the game. And in this multiplayer, it's called Ghost of Tsushima Legends. In it adds 2 modes, a new story mode, which is 2-player co-op, and then a new survival mode, kind of like Gears of War Horde, 4-player survival, in a combination with kind of like a looter shooter, like Destiny, where basically you have to survive and you gain new loot, new emotes and new gear. And there's raids coming actually next week on October 30th, actually a few days from which we're recording this. So like that's what a lot of GI has been on. A lot of people have been playing in the community, and you are our guest, 17. So I want to give you the floor. Give us the good, the bad, the ugly. How are we feeling about this Ghost of Tsushima update multiplayer?
Okay, so to be honest with you, I didn't even know that it dropped when it did. I just noticed it from when you actually dropped your video on it, and when I saw you fly off the building and then the other dude come out the cut and kill the dude and y'all killed the fools at the same time, I was like, okay, yeah, let me go see what this is about. And then when you said it was free too, I was like, okay, yeah, I need to pick that up because I honestly haven't even been on the Ghost of Tsushima that much. I still haven't even finished it. I just went straight to the multiplayer actually, and I'm enjoying it, to be honest with you.
I'm actually glad you brought up that it was free because I actually forgot to mention that. Yeah, this is a free update. This is not DLC that you have to pay for. So if you actually, I mean, it's free if you own Ghost of Tsushima. If you don't, you have to buy the game. But if you already own it, you beat it, or even if you didn't beat it, simply update the game and you'll be able to play the multiplayer with friends. How are we feeling about this, Jay?
I really like it. I think this is a good like segue as far as like multiplayer for us because it seemed like we always kind of struggle to find something that we want to stick on. So when we first pulled up on it, like it was really good. The only like negative that I had initially was the story. I was hoping that the story would also be 4 players, but it's okay. It's only 2 players. But the survival, yes, it does remind me a lot like Gears Horde mode. You're just fighting waves upon waves of endless enemies. Then every 5 waves, you have a boss horde, and they have like modifiers and stuff. So that's really cool. I like the 4 classes. The Ronin, even though it's a healer, the Ronin does have a super duper important aspect when it comes to running these survivals, especially once you get into the higher difficulties, bronze, silver, and then gold, which is the hardest so far before you until you get into the nightmare stuff. So it's really cool. I really love the customization. They added a lot of customization in here. So for anybody, because I know that was one of the biggest aspects of Ghost of Tsushima, because everybody and their mom were showing their screenshots in the regular story. So you have a lot of that here. So for anybody who was worried about that, like they have a lot of that. I think one of the more interesting aspects though of the multiplayer is the whole looting system. I wasn't expecting the looting system to have another layer of depth to it, but it does. And Hamp, because I know he's been playing a lot. When we played last night, he showed us some stuff that I didn't even know about, because I know he's been playing it a hell of a lot with D-Man and the rest of them. So I wasn't expecting that type of stuff. So like you can pretty much do a lot to basically mold whatever like special weapon, whether it's an epic or a legendary, to your playstyle or just like some of the perks that you want. So I found that to be a very unique aspect. Other than that, man, I mean, it's not too much to it. Like it's a lot of cosmetic items that you can get, and of course you're trying to get your level up because the raids are coming next week, and you are going to have to be a high level in order to tackle some of those raids. So it's cool. I enjoy playing it with the GI crew.
I actually think this is my gut. I'm just projecting. I feel like this is potentially a beta test for Ghost of Tsushima too, especially with the way the game ended. I feel like there's going to be a sequel, and I feel like this is kind of a beta test for the sequel. Give us a little something to nibble on, and then when the sequel comes out, I feel like they're going to go full blown with the multiplayer, which I'm not mad at, especially because it's free. How you feeling about it, Ethos?
Yeah, I think it's really good. It's more Ghost of Tsushima, which I think Ghost of Tsushima is a great game as well. So I'm never going to say no to that. It has co-op with it, which is fun. I agree with JG. The story kind of is like, whatever. I didn't really care about the story when I was running through it, but just the co-op experience of it's really good. I hope they expand it a little bit more. Kind of like it gives me like a Mass Effect 3 multiplayer vibe. So I hope they kind of do like what Mass Effect did, which is how they expanded on it, added new enemy types, added new maps, like that sort of thing. Like if they really want to push this Legends thing further, I'd say like support it, add some more stuff to it, and I'll be happy with it. I'm really excited to see how the raid system works, because I think that's going to be really interesting to see how they do that with Ghost of Tsushima's mechanics. But I'm all for it. So good job, Sucker Punch. You did a great job.
I kind of feel like I enjoy this just because I'm older. It's kind of just fun to just beat shit up and get off the damn game. I just don't want to play an open world everything, which I mean the story is open world, but I guess it was just refreshing to hop on something with friends and play. If anything, we need more PvE co-op games. That's what I got out of this. It's fun to play this with the boys or whatever. Also, a shout out to Uncle Iroh, who narrates the story, and everybody kept asking me in the Twitch chat every 5 seconds, every time is that Uncle Iroh? Is that? Yes it is. Yes it is. So he narrates the story. It's cool. I like the looting system and like the rolling, the way it works compared to like other like looting systems. You can and then you can dismantle stuff and then do re-rolls, and you actually get decent loot compared to like other games. So it doesn't feel like every time I play the game I feel like I'm leveling my character up versus other like looter shooters. There'd be other times where like I'd be playing and I feel like I wasn't getting anything out of the situation, which isn't the case here. I still don't think I'm ready for the raid, but that's because I haven't been on it enough compared to other people. Well, BZ hasn't been on it that much either. He was cheating. He was using,
really?
Oh, you didn't know that? Yeah, there was a method. That's what that patch was for. There was a method in which you could cheat the game, and then you could get better loot. All you had to do was Nomad taught it to me. Fucking, I didn't get a chance to do it though. All you had to do was load into the first level and turn matchmaking off, and then you run up to the first 2 people in front of the gate. You let them kill you, and then you waste all your lives, and then once it's over, it literally takes a minute. It gives you better loot. Just make sure you have the best loot equipped. Wow. It was a bug, I guess. But that's what that patch was for. They got rid of that shit. Beezy. Yeah, that's why Beezy got 3 characters in the hundreds and shit. He was cheating.
Wow. Disappointed.
Oh my goodness. So I mean, overall, I think it's dope. Is there any way y'all think that they could improve this or add on to it to keep you coming back, or you think it's just kind of something to hold you off until November?
It just holds me off until Cyberpunk. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I feel the same way. It's way too many games to play right now. So, like I said, I'm gonna hit the raid, and then that's pretty much it.
Yeah,
I'm probably gonna try the raid a couple times and then wait for Cyberpunk.
Man, if that raid got puzzles, I might have
he probably will.
What's the name? What you gonna do with Cyberpunk ain't what you think it's gonna be, Ethos? What you gonna do?
That's a possibility in my mind.
It's the moment of truth, boy. At least this game is coming out, unlike Star Citizen. I give you that much.
Yeah, that is true.
I seen a Star Citizen video on my sub box the other day and just laughed. I'm like,
I did too. I laugh every time I see videos getting uploaded at this point. I just like, whatever it happens, I guess.
It has some type of community celebration. I'm like, this game has a community. Get out of here.
It is what it is.
So, I mean, Ghost of Tsushima's multiplayer is out now. Free update for those who already own Ghost of Tsushima. If you don't, buy the game, try it out. Single player, the story is great too. I've seen a lot of, when I'm streaming this, I've seen a lot of people complaining that there was no PvP. What is with so many people like y'all just don't play games? What, y'all got to sweat and everything? What is that? I don't get that.
Yes, they do.
I feel that.
How are you supposed to do PvP in Ghost of Tsushima? How is that combat engine supposed to work with multiple players?
I think
because everybody's going to be parrying. That's all it's
everyone's going to parry you.
Like, you're right. They're just going to camp and parry. Yep.
Yeah, like how would that work?
I think.
You know what samurai game does have PvP?
There you go.
Samurai Zero, baby.
I I think the more interesting thing is like just a month ago, like everybody was complaining that sweats are ruining. What was that little cartoony kitty
Fall
game?
Guys.
Yeah, Fall Guys. People were complaining that gaming is being ruined by sweats, but then y'all also complain that every game doesn't have PvP. I don't get it. Which one do you want? Do you want it or not? I don't know. But yeah, updates available. Another game that came out since the last podcast is one that, in my opinion, it didn't come out of left field because I keep up with mobile gaming, but for a lot of people, it came out of left field. I actually knew about this game. We're talking about Genshin Impact. I knew about it like 2-3 months ago because I got an Instagram ad for it. And I was like, oh, it was a trailer. I was like, oh, this looks kind of cool. So then I hit the link and I couldn't download it at the time because it wasn't out. But they have pre-orders on the Apple Store now. It's weird. So I pre-ordered the game, and then the day the game came out, it started downloading to my phone like that night. I woke up like the next day and everybody was talking about Genshin Impact, and I was like, I thought it was just gonna be like another random anime mobile game that like I was gonna play for a little bit, but then everybody was talking about it. Then I found out there was a PC and a PS4 version. I thought it was just a mobile game, and it kind of lit the internet on fire, and it's still kind of going strong right now. I still see a lot of people that I follow playing Genshin, grinding the game. So for those of you unaware, I don't know the name of the studio who's doing it, but it's a Chinese studio. It's a game that they blatantly said was inspired by Breath of the Wild. The exploration reminds me of it, like kind of the world. But the combat, you play as like 4 different characters. You have to collect different characters. It's an action game, and it kind of reminds me of like Mass Effect in the sense there's a primer and detonator system where basically, like, I don't know, if you hit them with ice and then fire, it'll do more damage. But then you have 4 different characters you can do it with, and you control them all at once. And then you're exploring this beautiful big open world with camps and bosses and stuff like that. How you feeling about Genshin, Ethos?
So unfortunately, I could never get into Breath of the Wild, and I don't blame anyone but myself for that. And so like with this game, I'm kind of having the same effect where like I was playing it for a couple hours and I was like, oh, this is really cool, and then I just stopped. And I can't explain why. I was just like kind of like, okay, this is cool, and then I was done. I think the game is really cool though, like for a free-to-play game and
I forgot to
all
mention
that
that.
jazz. Yeah, I think it's really awesome. I'm surprised people aren't yelling about Chinese spyware with it because it is a Chinese game, but whatever. Okay,
It's not on the Epic Game
Store.
Store.
We've got double standards here, but whatever. But yeah, it's not on the Epic Game Store. But the other thing that the one thing that I have noticed as like a criticism of the game that other people that I've talked to who've like played it like nonstop, they've told me is that once you get to the end game of it, or once you finish it, it starts to really show that it's a free-to-play game, and a lot of the things called like resin or whatever it's called, a lot of that resource gets very difficult to get your hands on, to the point where like it kind of is like trying to make you pay for it at that point. So like that's something that I feel like I wonder if like everyone loves it now, but I wonder for the people who actually play it and get to that end game, I wonder if their opinions are going to change once they start to see like, oh, okay, now the free to play trickery and stuff is starting to like really show its head, compared to like in the beginning where they're just like, oh yeah, you have this for free, this for free, and then you invest like a bunch of time into it, and then then in time sinks you into like, oh, now you want to give us some money. So I mean, hey, but the game is cool even for the free aspect. I think it's still worth like at least checking out and having fun. So I'd say it's a great job. It reminds me a little bit of a Nier as well. So
yeah, a lot of people are talking about this because it's a gacha game. That's like the new hot buzzword of the month. Basically because it's a free-to-play game, you get like a couple characters for free, but then after that, like, it really tries to make you buy something because it's really hard to get the materials you need. Because in the game, it has roles, like they call them wishes. You gain enough materials and then you can get wishes, and then like it's all random loot drops. So whether or not you'll get a good character is not based off your skill, it's all based off roles. So like that's pissing people a lot off too, and it's really grindy. I really like the game, but like I just don't have time to play it. And because of that, I've only made it to like level 14, and you have to be level 16 to get to the co-op. That's what I forgot to mention. There's co-op for like dungeons and raids and stuff you can play with your friends, but like level 16 doesn't sound like it's hard, but it takes a long time to get to that. You got to grind for like a good week or two, like non-stop, just running around all over the place. And it is fun to explore, but it's like when you don't have that free time, it's just like it kind of turns me away from the game, and I don't want to spend money when I know I'm not going to be on it like that. But I mean, if you need a free-to-play game, I still would recommend it. Like, the action is on point and the controls are on point. It's really fun to explore. Climbing and just gliding around all over the place in the world is really beautiful. How you feeling about Genshin, Jay?
I mean, I watched some of y'all play it, and again, I feel the same way that you do. Like, there are way too many games to play, and I don't want to even try to get engulfed in it because I already don't have time as it is. So I know I'm not going to have time for this. Another thing, I don't think I've ever played a gacha game in my life, so this was something that I had no clue about. I've never heard about it until like just the hype came out, and I was like, "Wow, what is this? Like, why is everybody excited about it?" So again, I decided to watch, and like the combat looks cool. I have no clue what's going on in the story, and like that's pretty much it. Like I was just looking at some of the combat. I was like, all right. I was like, this looks like something like I probably would want to get into if like this was the only thing that I could play, but it's way too many other things out, so I just pretty much staying away from it.
Okay. What about you, 17?
To be honest with you, I've only played like literally the first bit of it. I killed this like little blue bob that came out of the water, and I was like, yeah, I ain't about to get into this. But like I watched my friends play it because they, are more committed to it than me. But it looks cool, but it's just not for me.
Fair enough. What I will say is really cool about it is the fact that the game has cross save. So I have it on my PC and I have it on my phone, which, by the way, the game looks great on your phone. It looks almost comparable to the PC version. And like what's really dope is like I was playing on my PC and then I logged out and then I went and lied in the bed and I booted it up on my phone, and like it didn't load me into like the hub world with like my save file. It literally loaded me exactly where I left off on PC. I was like in the middle of like nowhere. I was like, God damn, so like this shit is like real cross save. So I mean, I don't know if you don't have the money to play some of these games that are coming out, this might be like, well, though, because you might need money to get the characters. I don't know. It might be worth looking into, I would say. But I enjoyed the gameplay. I think it's interesting. But they got to come down on them prices in terms of being able to unlock the characters. And I think the level 15 or 16 that you had to be to get to the co-op was too high. They should have made it like level 10 or something. I think when you're able to play games with your friends, it makes people want to play it longer, but it takes a long time before you can even get to your friends. But it's something better, it's something cool, something different. Ethos is right, like you said in the other podcast. Don't be surprised if you start seeing more Chinese studios coming out with games that are taking the world by storm. I mean, it looks like your prediction's coming true because this is one of those cases.
Oh, and by the way, the publisher is MiHoYo, and then the developers are Shanghai Miha Touring Film Technology Company, which is very long, but there you go.
You said spyware, got you. It's just a joke. So if you need something cool to play, something free, something different, check out Genshin Impact. It's not available. I mean, if you're on mobile, Android or iOS, I mean, you could just download it from the store. But if you're on PC, it's not available on Steam or like Origin or something like that. You have to Google Genshin Impact and download their launcher, another launcher off their website, and then it's also available on PS4. So Xbox don't got no games still. That's crazy. It's funny too because let's get into the news. The first thing we got to talk about is actually Xbox. So Microsoft is trying to save GameStop. We all know at this point we're all waiting for GameStop to collapse. It seems like every month there's a news story about their quarterly earnings dropping. I don't know, people throwing up in the store, people scamming, wearing trash bags on their hands, just doing weird shit at the GameStop. But it looks like Microsoft sees value in GameStop because they're trying to save it. It has been reported that Microsoft has invested in GameStop. They've decided to do a multi-year strategic partnership. So Microsoft believes they'll be around for at least another few years. And what this entails is basically Microsoft is investing in keeping them alive. If you go to your local GameStop, you're going to see people walking around with Microsoft tablets and Surfaces and stuff. You're going to see a lot of Microsoft posters all over the place. And also, GameStop reportedly is going to be getting a cut of Xbox's games, which is funny because they have none, but they're going to be getting a cut of that. What do you think this is going to do? What do you think this is going to do for GameStop? Does this make you want to shop at GameStop, JG?
No. The funny
Stop
thing
laughing.
No, bro, it's funny. Bro, this stuff is a joke. I think the key thing about this is the fact that GameStop is going to get a cut even if you're not buying the game from GameStop. That's the thing that when I first heard about this, I was like, how does that really work? Why is GameStop getting tied into here if they are not the ones who
so
are
they buy it off
purchasing it from?
They buy it off Xbox Live or like the Game Pass. GameStop is still making money basically.
Yeah, and I'm like, again, how does that part make sense? It makes sense if, you know, they're getting the cut if you buy it from them, but that's the main thing that I don't really understand. But here's the thing, here's another thing about them. Now, we know that just like Apple stores, Microsoft has their own stores. Now, before COVID even really got to the peak, which again, we're still really in the thick of it, but before it even got to its peak, a lot of Microsoft stores were closing. So the Microsoft stores by themselves are hurting. So I'm thinking that's probably why they decided to go after GameStop. Because first of all, there aren't a lot of Microsoft stores, and the ones that are there, they're usually in the malls, but they're not in every mall. And people honestly just don't go to the Microsoft stores. Every time I go to the mall and I pass by the Microsoft stores, nobody's in there.
Yeah, this is a flip. This is not even about GameStop. Microsoft is just trying to find a cheap way to get more real estate to create bootleg Microsoft stores so you can get a Surface.
Yes, exactly. So that's really what the thing is. And I didn't really hear people talking about that. Probably a lot of people missed that news, but that's really it. Like GameStop, whether you like it or not, they have brick and mortar stores all across the US. Now, a lot of them have either, you know, some of them are closing or some of them are trying to, you know, revamp and turn it more into like a, you know, a social area, which I still haven't seen that, at least here yet. And I don't know if they're still trying to proceed with that, because I know we talked about that news like months ago. But even still, like, it's, you know, those are stores that, whether you like GameStop or hate them, like if you need something very quickly, like there's a GameStop probably around the corner for you. So if you want something physically, you can just go there. So that's really what it is. That's the play that Microsoft is doing here. But again, I still don't understand the fact that like that they're getting a cut even if you're not getting it directly through the GameStop ecosystem. But it makes sense from a financial standpoint 100% why they decided to say GameStop. Because at first I was like, this makes no sense. Like, why would you try to save them, especially when we're going into like almost a purely digital age? But you know, it is what it is. Like, they at least thought about it and they were like, hey, nobody's going to the Microsoft stores, but people are still going to GameStop. So let's just, you know, give them some cash, have them take a cut for, you know, everything Xbox or Microsoft related. And there you go.
The problem with this strategy is like, who's really buying? I feel like the Microsoft stores were failing because who's really buying Microsoft products like that? Microsoft is known for what, Microsoft Word and Microsoft and Windows. But who's going to GameStop or the Microsoft store? I mean, the Surface is a good product from my understanding for like artists, but other than that, like what else do they have that like warrants people constantly going to GameStop for Microsoft products, if that makes sense?
Just Xbox. It's literally just Xbox. Like I don't see another reason for going in a Microsoft store as well. Like people are staying in the Apple store, like everything Apple, like they're going in there. Like there are lines around the corner. There's never not anybody in the Apple store. But Microsoft store, look at literally every time I pass by, like it's nothing. Like you just see the Xboxes in the front, and that's it. Like they're just sitting there, just twiddling their thumbs. So like
that's funny. I think about it. Yeah, it always is empty whenever I pass a Microsoft store.
Yeah, that is. So, like I said, it makes sense from financial standpoint. Like Microsoft is at least thinking about it. They're trying to be strategic. So, you know, we've been talking about GameStop suffering for like a couple of years now, but it looks like this is finally, you know, going to be one of the things that they need to at least stay afloat for at least another few years, depending on what happens with, you know, the new consoles.
This is a band-aid. If they don't turn profit after that contract up, GameStop gonna be assed out. You gonna start shopping at GameStop more 17?
Absolutely not. To me, it's just, I don't know, because you said that JG said that nobody's in Microsoft stores. Nobody's in GameStop stores either. I don't see anybody in GameStop except for like kids who just walk in, look at everything, and then walk right back out.
I mean, true, but there are more people, even if it's like a couple.
Oh yeah,
there are definitely 100%. more. One is more than zero, so that's all I'm saying. Like,
it's a real estate play because GameStop is everywhere. So even if those kids are just coming in to look real quick, that's more kids seeing the Surface, I guess, and the Xbox, I guess. But although If you're good, you could get the game. You can get the Xbox at GameStop regardless. So that's kind of weird too. I don't get it. Yeah, I don't know. Ethos, what you think?
I don't care.
You don't want a goddamn Surface, bro. You don't want it. Windows phones suck, man. But I mean, yeah. So yeah, if you're still shopping at GameStop, just be aware that probably in the next few months or the next year, when you walk in there's probably going to be somebody in there with a shirt tucked in, walking around with a Surface tablet, trying to shove it up your ass when you're just trying to get a PlayStation or an Xbox. But at least I guess, GameStop gets to survive. People get to keep their jobs. That's the good thing. As much as I rag on GameStop, I never want to see nobody lose their job, especially in a time like this. Shout out to Microsoft keeping jobs afloat. It feels like the holiday season sneaks up on us earlier every year. And if you're not thinking about holiday shopping, you're behind. So I'm here to help you out by letting you know about a great place to get everything you need this holiday season. And it's called Zebit, which is also a sponsor of today's show. See, with Zebit, you can shop thousands of products from your favorite brands and pay for them over time. They have everything from Xboxes to TVs to tools, cookware, furniture, and even gift cards. And Zebit gives you the option to pay just a portion of the price at checkout, with the rest spread out over time in easy, achievable payments. And check this out, right? So the Apple Series 5 watch, that's currently starting at $400, and you would have had to pay that up front on another store. But on Zebit, you just had to make a down payment, and then after that, you can do a 6-month payment plan, which comes out to like $66 a month, which is easy and achievable. And with Zebit, there's no cost to join, no hidden fees, and there are no gotchas. With flexible payment options and an amazing marketplace, Zebit is the best place to start holiday shopping. And since they're a sponsor of the show, you can get a head start on your holiday shopping by signing up to shop on Zebit today at zebit.com/GI. That's zebit.com/GI. Once again, zebit.com/GI.
What's going on, y'all? It's UTXJG to die, 1/3 of the Gaming Illuminati podcast. And you know all the things that we love to do for ourselves but haven't done it for whatever reason. Now for me, I always want to straighten teeth and a better smile. Well, I'm done putting it off. And thanks to Candid Straightening, my teeth is simpler, easier, and more comfortable than ever. Candid clear aligners are comfortable, removable, and practically invisible, unlike wire braces, so you can transform your smile without anybody noticing. Plus, your treatment is prescribed and monitored remotely by a licensed orthodontist who's an expert on tooth movement, and it's all done from the comfort and convenience of your own home. Candid only works with orthodontists, never general dentists like other companies. Plus, your supervisor orthodontist will be with you every step of the way. With Candid, your treatment includes remote monitoring by the same orthodontist who created your plan, so you never have to wonder how you're doing. You're always going to know, and I love that. Average Candid treatment is just 6 months. You'll start seeing results way before then, and it costs thousands less than braces. So, are you ready to start straightening your teeth today? Right now, all my listeners can save $75 on Candid Starter Kit. Go to candidco.com/GI and use code GI. That's candidco.com/GI, code GI. Take advantage of the limited time offer to save $75 on your starter kit. candidco.com/GI, code GI.
Let's see, other news. PlayStation, an update came out, update 8.0, I think it was. It's for the PS4. This update will also, the features will be in the PS5. But the reason it's been making a lot of noise is apparently voices can now be recorded in party chat. And the functionality is there for snitching, basically. Sony said that it's basically a tool so that, if anybody's harassing you in the party or anything crazy like some racism or something like that is going on, voices will be recorded and it'll be used as a tool to review accounts and get that ass banned, basically. And a lot of people are, crying an invasion of privacy and all this other stuff. Do you feel like your privacy is being invaded, Ethos?
I mean, my privacy's already been invaded by multiple different tech companies, so I don't think this is any different than that. I'm not even ever on PlayStation Party to begin with chat, because there's this thing called Discord, which for you people who are stuck on the console, it's much better and it's free. So yeah, I don't need to worry about any of this news at all.
It's crazy too, because it's on your phone and it sounds better than the PS4. That's the news I got out of this. I'm like, damn, y'all still using party chat?
yeah, y'all still using that in 2020 of our Lord?
That's crazy. You worried about getting snitched on, Jay?
When was the last time that I was in a PlayStation party? I don't think I've ever once been in the PlayStation voice chat party. Like, yeah, it's not a thing. Like, Discord has been around even before then. We were using various other voice systems. Like, I've been on PC for so long gaming with y'all.
That's
like,
crazy. I don't think I've been in a party
thing,
chat since the 360 era too. When I think about it, I don't think I ever used the PS4. That's crazy.
Exactly. And we all knew, like, during the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox days, like, I had a PlayStation 3 late, but even then, like, we knew that the PlayStation 3 like online was trash. Like, those parties were terrible. Xbox 360 was way better with their party system. And then the PS4 and the Xbox One came out, and by that time, like, we were all on PC. So even though I had a PS4, like, I never got in a party because why? We were all in here still gaming on our PlayStation 4, so it doesn't matter to me. But going back to Ethos' point, like, yeah, our invasion's already being invaded. Like, my phone is listening to me right now. So yeah, I don't think that I really am impacted by this, even if I was in the like actively using the PlayStation party system. But I understand where people are coming from, like, with their uncertainty about this. But it really at this point is going to be either you care enough that you're not going to use it at all, or you're just going to deal with it. And my gut is telling me that the people that actively use the party chat systems are still going to deal with it, and they're probably still not going to watch what they say. So don't be surprised if you get that ad banned.
The only thing that, like, I would see, like, this being annoying for is, like, for people who still use party chat, and, like, you know, when you with your friends, when you with your boys, you joke a certain type of way that you wouldn't joke in public, and there might be someone in there new that you were unaware of, and you don't know their levels of sensitivity, and they don't know y'all joking, and then they report your ass, and you get that ass banned and shit like that. Like, that could be, like, annoying, but I mean, the solution is just use Discord. How you feel about this, 17? Do you care about the party chat update?
So I see I'm the only broke boy here who would actually be in the party chat for PS4. So I don't have a PC yet, but my friends, they're like so stuck in their ways that all they use is the party chat. I just tell them, yo, get in the Discord. Like, we don't even have to deal with any of that. And like, the only problem I see is, like, y'all should know who y'all are in parties with on the PlayStation. Like, you should be with your friends, and if not, like, I don't know, give a disclaimer before anybody joins your parties, but you should know who you guys are with. And the update even said, like, the reports has to be sent by a user. So if there are problems, like, I don't know, you guys have to know your friends, I guess.
Yeah, I guess I'm thinking back to, like, the Xbox 360 days from what I remember when I used to hop in party chats all the time with people that I didn't know. Like, what up? And we used to talk shit and roast. And that's what I mean. Like, I don't know if people still do that shit. Where you just make, or I mean, if you're sticking within your circle, you should be fine. But just be aware if you're not. You know, you never know who's recording and snitching and shit like that when you're just joking. Just be aware of what you say. But the vile people, they gotta go. Speaking of invasion of privacy, though, fucking Target is just an invasion of privacy. They send me an email. I pre-ordered a PS5 off of Target, and they send me an email every fucking day with deals all up my ass and shit, and the shit's annoying. And the only reason I don't unsubscribe and turn it off is because I want to make sure my PS5 ships. I mean,
this guy.
So I gotta deal with this bullshit. They all at my
price. I turn it off.
Unsubscribe now. It will not affect you.
I don't think it should affect you.
I just gotta make sure my PS5 ships. And as soon as I get that notification, I'm unsubscribing, bro.
All right.
Every day Target sends emails. This is the only website that does this. I'm like, Jesus Christ, bro.
Trust me, there are a lot of others. You just got caught in that one because you don't buy things from, like, these other companies as much as, like, me, for example. So no, all of them do it.
Target. I don't know, man. Did y'all see the PS5 UI video?
I did.
Yes.
Yeah. Any thoughts on the 17?
I think it's simple and clean. You can kind of tell they're appealing to this new social media era, and they're trying to get these things with the cards thing, and they're posting, like, news and events that's going on with that specific game. It's kind of cool that you can get, like, a playtime estimate, because sometimes I'll get on the game before work, and then, like, it'll tell you, hey, you have 10 minutes before you finish this level, and I could just quickly do that. Or if I don't want to, I could just set it down and come back later. I do think that there's a thing called like Game Help or something like that, where it'll literally just show you a video of how to finish whatever task that you need to do. I think that's kind of whack, but other than that, it looks really clean.
Yeah, I agree with you. The Game Help shit is whack. And it's getting to a point where it's like you got to buy VC for the game, then you got built-in walkthroughs and shit. And it's like at this point, it's like y'all gonna let people play the game or nah? If I really need help, I'll go on YouTube. But like I don't know how I feel about just got holding everybody's hand. What'd you think, Jeff?
The UI looks cool. I would tend to agree with the, quote unquote hand holding, but again, it's not something that you have to use. True. So that would be my only defense, because I wouldn't see myself using it unless I absolutely have to Google something. Then I would find this helpful, because I wouldn't have to, go on my computer and, use some extra clicks in order to find a walkthrough on how to do something. It would just be right there.
But experience. Okay.
Yeah. I'm speaking from experience. I do this all the time. So yeah. But again, it's something that you don't have to use. So it's fine that it's there. I don't see myself using it though, like for maybe somebody who is younger and maybe they are just really, really stuck on something. Like it'd be very, very helpful, and you can still stay in the ecosystem. That's really what the thing is. So just like 17 said, like it's really banking on like the more social aspect that video games have now. So that's really what they cater to with this new UI, but it looks very clean though. I think one of the most important things though is we finally saw like another true example, like an in real time example of this SSD. Because boy, oh boy, did this game load fast as fuck, bro.
It's an M2.
Like, seriously. Yeah, these games loaded super fast, and that's just weird to me. Like for consoles, like I've seen this already on my side, like with the PC side, but for consoles, boy, like welcome to 2020, console people, like strictly console people, because y'all are going to be amazed at these fast load times. It was really a sight to see. I think that was the most important part, not just the UI, but how fast these games loaded.
Facts. I'm excited to be able to load into the park even faster, just so I can lag. I think the UI is clean. It's simple. It looks like it'll be easy to use. I don't feel like when I boot up the PS5, I'll be spending a lot of time shuffling through the menus and stuff like that. And to me, that's the most important thing. I just want to get to the games, be able to access the store as soon as possible, and intuitiveness. Once again, Xbox fans, just because you got used to and you learn how to tolerate the Xbox One interface does not mean it's intuitive and it's good. It's a bad interface. Sorry. Ethos, how'd you feel about the PS5 interface?
It's alright, whatever.
That's real. That's real though. Vince got the hot takes, dog.
It is whatever. I'm not gushing over it or like, oh my god, it shows you. I was like, all right, looks cool, whatever. I mean, it works. That's all I care about. Does it work?
Does it work, and can I get around? That is
can I get to my games fast? And does it work? That's all I care about.
Yeah. Yo, what was the point of I forgot. I didn't put this on the show notes, but what was the point of them doing like the PS5 breakdown and like showing what was in the inside? I was like, do they think console gamers care?
What that means? Like the people who buy this don't even know what they're even looking at. So like, I guess for like technical people, like it's really cool to look at, but like it's basically a PC. Like you're looking at a PC in a nutshell. So
only Nomad cared, but he's a huge techie, so he was like, I really enjoyed it. I didn't even watch it, like, because I could care less about what was inside it.
Facts, but I mean, it is what it is. We gonna see, as long as they got some games to play. Moving away from some gaming stuff, we're gonna get back into it a little bit later. Let's talk about some streamer stuff. There's a guy, which by the way, I think he's the former creative director for the Google Stadia. I actually checked his Twitter before we started recording. I couldn't help but notice that's not in his bio anymore.
Oh, he changed it.
Yeah, I think he might. I think Google might have gave him the boot.
He changed it. Wow.
That shit was fucking fun. I was like, hold up. So yeah, if you look at his bio, it says creative director, SG&E Montreal Studio. It no longer says Google Stadia. So there's a guy by the name of Alex Hutchinson. He was making waves on the internet yesterday on Twitter. I think he worked for Google Stadia, but it's not in his bio anymore. And basically what he said on Twitter is streamers to be worried about. So for those you unaware, like there's been some DMCA takedowns on Twitch. Basically don't play music on stream, blah blah blah, copyright.
What did I say? Said this last time.
He was saying streamers should be worried about getting their content pulled because they use music they didn't pay. They should also be worried about the fact that they're streaming games they didn't pay for as well, which is weird. I did pay for it. It's all gone as soon as publishers decide to enforce it. The real truth is streamers should be paying the developers and publishers of the games they stream. They should be buying a license like any real business and paying for the content they use. Then he said, and then like right after that, he said, "I'm about to stream Fall Guys." So like the only reason I even caught this tweet, I've never even heard of this dude, is another streamer I follow like quote tweeted him, and then I looked at it and like he was just getting flamed by the internet. And like I made a whole video about this, and I was like, yeah, technically he's right. When you purchase a game, you have you purchase the right to play it, but you don't purchase the right to broadcast it to the world or whatever. But the problem with this take is like nobody has a problem with it. All the developers, all the publishers are cool with it. There's a whole platform. There's multiple platforms developed around the idea. These companies are reaching out. They want to work with these content creators. There's entire websites like Keymailer or Arsenal where you can just literally sign in as a content creator and request a key, and like they're begging people to play their games because they understand word of mouth promotion is a very powerful thing. And the prime example of that is 2020. The most 2020 thing ever is Among Us. That game has been out for like a year or two, for those of you unaware. Totally irrelevant. A streamer picked it up and it blew up, and some people have become millionaires overnight. They were working on Among Us 2. They canceled it and said, you know what, we're just gonna put that content into Among Us and we're gonna ride this wave. It changed their lives. Same thing with Minecraft and a bunch of other games. Fucking, who was it? I think it was Captain Sparkles that made Minecraft popular. Him or PewDiePie. They played it, and was it not? Whoever the developer of Minecraft is, he sold it to Microsoft, became a billionaire because the right person played it. The point I'm trying to make is all these publishers and developers don't have a problem with it. They literally have written statements on their website, and I just didn't understand what was the point of him putting out this tweet, especially because Google really needs people to play the Stadia, however you pronounce it. Like, you could use some word of mouth. What's your take on this, Jay?
Let me correct you on something, because I know somebody in the YouTube YouTube comments is probably gonna say something, but it was C Nanners who
Nanners, my bad.
Yeah, C Nanners, one of the main people that made Minecraft popular. But let me go ahead and expand on this once again. Yes, technically he is right. Yes, when you purchase something, it's only for the right to play it or show it off if it's like another type of content. But let me tell you all something. Now, for years, especially since we've been in the media space as well as the content creator space, I cannot tell you where a day goes by that I do not get an email from some random indie developer begging me to play their game, literally putting the code for the game in the email and saying, hey, I gave you a code, can you play so-and-so game? And I ignore the majority of them, but here's what I'm trying to say.
Hollywood.
But I just don't have time to play them. I'm sorry. I just don't have time to play them because you get the dog.
Nah, most of them games are dog shit. Most of them games are dog shit.
Both of y'all get the same email that I get, so we know.
No, I don't get those type of emails.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Okay.
Anyways, the point is, especially with indie developers, but AAA developers, it happens a lot as well, especially when a new game is coming out. They want the exposure, right? So, like, it's really been a thing ever since, social media and streaming and making YouTube videos has become super duper popular, and is single-handedly like propelled video games to the highest degree. Like, video games is $1 billion industry. Like, we all know this by now. So these developers, they want you to be able to do this. They don't care. The difference is, when we're talking about video games versus the music, video games and the whole way that developers and publishers think and act are very, very progressive compared to record companies with the music. And I said this on the last podcast, these record companies are super old. They have old money. They do not care about a random streamer. They can be the biggest streamer in the world, and if they're playing something in the background that they don't like, yes, they have the right to go after them. Is it right? No, I don't think morally it's right, but at the end of the day, they don't care. But for this dude to come around and say that streamers should pay the devs, excuse me. First of all, I've already bought the game, so even though technically I don't have the right to play it, like, websites like companies like Twitch, they have already made these deals like in the background with the majority of these AAA developers and these indie developers that have all of a sudden risen to the ranks and everybody's playing their game because so streamer played it or whatnot and made it popular. They've already made those deals in the background. So how dare you even make this comment talking about we should pay them for a license? No, I don't think it's gonna work like that, buddy. And I would love to see like a random video game studio come in and be like, hey, you need to pay for this license, otherwise you can't play this game. Because guess what's going to happen to that game? Most likely it's going to get dumped, and it's not going to be by one person. It's going to be by the majority of people, because unless like it's the biggest game in the world and you just absolutely have to make content on it, whether it's streaming or on YouTube, I don't think that anybody's going to fall for this. This is a totally different situation than music. So he needs to shut up, and I find it very, very hilarious that he changed his bio ever since he got this flag, because he knew he was wrong for saying that bullshit.
I think apparently Google threw him under the bus. They was like, nah, his statements don't represent us.
He said, exactly, he said he good over there, man. We gonna get rid of him real quick.
It's no for me, dog. It's crazy too, because like if Google maybe would have paid some streamers or some YouTubers to use the Stadia, maybe more people would have bought it. But
it's crazy because it happens so often. Like when we've learned about like the money that these studios are giving like these streamers and YouTubers, like a lot of y'all probably still aren't not in the know, but they're making tens upon thousands, like $100,000s of dollars, like to play some of these games when they come out. So how are you going to turn around and say that a streamer should be paying the developers when the developers know that a lot of these streamers have tons of influence? A lot of us are giving them free advertising as it is, but then they're taking it a step further and asking a big streamer who may or may not have been excited to play said game, hey, here's $10,000, play this game for a couple of hours and just show people the game and what you think about it, and and that's that. Like where have you been? Like, you work with Google Stadia, so how do you not know this stuff?
Ethos, you gonna let people stream your game?
Yes, a matter of fact, we have no NDA or no requirements that you have to pay us to play our game. You are more than welcome to stream it, make videos about it, epically uninstall it. Like we encourage it all. So yeah, this person's just stupid, very stupid. So
as a content creator, how you feel, 17?
Well, as a smaller one, I purchased the games to play it. Some of them I stream, and I just was confused by his whole thing. What really got me was how, like, his later tweet, he just like, anyways, I'm about to stream some Fall Guys, so, and then I was just like, did you just, like, that's hypocrisy personified, like the definition of hypocrisy. So I'm just confused of like why he would say that and then just backtrack and do the exact opposite.
It makes you question whether or not he's trolling, but I mean, if you scroll down his timeline, he seems like a very, what's the word I'm looking for? A very just going against the grain type of person, just trying to be different for the sake of being different, because he has a lot of weird takes. And what's funny too is like that Fall Guys tweet that you're talking about. If you actually click on it and look at it, like the top comment is like, so did somebody at Fall Guys is like, yo, did did he pay a license to stream this game at Fall Guys? They trying to get his ass in trouble and shit. So I thought that was funny. I don't know, man.
Yeah, that's pretty hilarious. Yeah, cause I mean, that's a legit question though. Like, you want to talk that shit, so you say you're gonna stream it. Do you feel like you're above everybody else just because you were in the industry? Did you pay for a license yourself? Like, practice what you preach. And it does sound like some trolling stuff, but I deadass think that he was serious. And since he got that, that fallback, then Google did what they had to do, and now no longer has it in his bio. So that's pretty funny.
Google takes another L, and they getting sued right now by the government. Shit crazy. Just another day on the internet. At this point in the podcast, you could probably mute yourself, Ethos. I know you don't care about this.
All right, cool. See ya.
Me and Jay, don't go for too long. Me and Jay will talk about this. I don't know if 17. Are you into 2K 17?
Oh, absolutely.
Bet. Okay, so next gen 2K is coming next month. They're finally rolling out details. They revealed the first, like, quote unquote gameplay trailer where they revealed the visuals, some NBA plays and stuff like that. And then they also been dropping blogs revealing new new mechanics and whatnot. And the big thing that everybody's talking about is the new My Player builder. So they removed pie charts, and now everything will be based off kind of like your vitals, your height, your weight, your arm length, and then after that you can put your points wherever you want, and based off that, that's what your player will be. There's a ton of new badges. It's looking like it's gonna be a lot of customization. Part of me is excited. Like, it really hurts too, because it's like you have like a love-hate relationship with 2K, but it's like they're finally listening, and part of me is excited because it's giving me more flexibility to make the player that I want. But then the other part of me is like, yo, this could potentially be really broken. This could be 2K15 with the 7-foot demigods all over again. As JG, as somebody who has a super love-hate relationship with 2K, how we feeling about this? Because I know you're returning for next gen. Like, this is your last hurrah. How we feeling about this new My Player?
Oh man,
and you can talk about the visuals too.
The videos have already started, bro. Oh, just off of these like 17-second like previews, it's pretty crazy. So yeah, I 100% think that it's going to go back to 2K15. Like, if what we're seeing is true, like, you're going to go back to just being able to create whatever player that you want. And I think that once again, the community is going to take it one step further and create like the super demigods that we had back in 2K15. I will say this though, I actually had more fun back then when we were not limited to pie charts. I actually felt like that made the game worse, because even though you couldn't create like the full type of player that you wanted, I still enjoyed the fun aspect of how you could create your My Player back then compared to now. So I actually am more excited about them removing the pie charts in this one, but we're just going to hope and pray that it doesn't get super toxic. But again, I'm pretty sure that it will get back super toxic. So but the visuals do look very nice. Like, I hate to say it, man, I feel the same way about 2K that I feel about Call of Duty. Like, it comes out every year, and there's always like one or two things that I'm like, oh man, like, damn, did they give me once again? And then I'm sucked back in, and then I've only played it for like a couple of weeks, and I'm like, oh man, this is the same shit. Why did I let them get me and take my $60? You know, so I'm hoping that this isn't the same situation. But I will say they are making the next gen version of 2K21 look super nice. Like, if the gameplay isn't significantly better, which I feel like it will be from what they've shown, at least the game will look nice. So I'm just going to hope that that the game isn't like super laggy, because we still going to be at the mercy of the servers at the end of the day. But I'm just going to hope that like things like, you know, faster load times, and of course the new My Player builder or whatever, that I can, you know, actually make the My Player that I want again and be able to do everything that I want to do. And then of course, like, I hope that the frame lag is you know, significantly reduced, so that like we can actually get like, you know, for the first time in forever, like an actual like decent experience, like playing this game day to day. Like, if they can give me that, then man, I'm not gonna lie, man, I'm gonna be balling again, because I really want to play a basketball game again, and I do miss playing with y'all. But man, like I said, I just couldn't do it. Like, my morals just set me back. I didn't want to deal with the bullshit every year. So that's why, like, I didn't buy the game. I was like, donate to me if you want to play it. But this one I just totally sat out on. I was like, you know what, let's do it on the next gen version and see how it is. But from what I'm hearing, man, they've been dropping a lot of news finally, and you know, the My Player thing, that's actually the most exciting thing to me so far that I've seen. I just, again, hope that it doesn't get like super duper toxic, and if it does, man, fuck integrity, bro. I'm gonna fight fire with fire. So you find something toxic in a broken build or a broken jumper or something, fuck it. I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah, I feel like this new My Player builder is combining like the old 2K with some of the new stuff, and we might get the best of both worlds. So that's why I'm kind of excited. And like, I feel like with this new builder, for the smart people, they're going to be able to make a very dangerous player. But I also feel like this new builder, because it gives you so much flexibility, I feel like it's going to expose a lot of dumbasses. Because I'm looking at like the chart right now on the blog, and like I said, it's all, first of all, it's all based off your vitals, what type of stats that you have. And I feel like there's going to be a lot of people that don't put a lot of points on their stamina. they're probably gonna try to save some points and put their stamina at like 50% so they can get some extra points when they shooting and they driving and stuff, and then they ain't gonna be able to do nothing because they player tired all the time. So I think it's gonna be interesting to see how people built their character. Also, I forgot to say, so one thing they also changed is the takeover. They split the takeovers over. Before, like, each takeover would give you a bunch of new stat boosts, but now they made individual ones for like, so I know for like the glass cleaner, instead of getting like predicting where the ball is and you get like a super box out, now they have like a box out badge. They have the one where it predicts the ball. They have one specifically for like spot up threes or whatever. Like, it's just very specific things. I kind of like that because I feel like it doesn't make the badges OP, the takeovers OP, and it forces people to, you know, actually build a good player instead of leaning on getting hot all the time. So I kind of like they broke up that. And then this is a rumor. It's not confirmed at this point, but there's also a rumor there's going to be multiple parks, and some of them are going to be international, including some like courts in Asia or something like that, but that hasn't been confirmed. How you feeling about this 17? Because you said you play 2K.
Yes, I'm excited. One of my favorite modes in 2K has always been my career, and, you know, making our own player, going through the, you know, NBA process and all that. So I've always enjoyed it. I actually haven't bought the last like 3 2K, which is 2019 and 8. Yes, so the 3 2Ks, just because I was just tired of the toxicity and how just everybody's making the same types of players. And I'm excited because after looking at the notes for it and watching the videos on it, it looks amazing. I like the new badges coming. I like how the whole archetypes and everything, you can completely customize it to your liking. There's no pie charts. You could just put the stat points and everything. And it's, like you said, it's going to expose people that don't know basketball, because a lot of people, what they do is just Google search most OP player that I can create, and then that's what they just put into their game because they just don't know how to play and they just want to shoot threes with 7 foot, 100 inch long or 100 wingspan, all that stuff. So I'm excited. I'm ready for it, and yeah, I can't wait to play it.
Yeah, I actually really hope they bring back rookie mode. That's one of the things that I miss that they took out to make it easier to grind for badges, because, like, especially with all these games coming out in November, I sure would like an easier grind so I can just get my player to a decent standpoint, because it's going to take time to sit here and build another character. I'm not going to lie, I'm probably spend like at least an hour doing the math trying to figure out what badges and stats I can do to create my player. If y'all have not read the blog, it's a lot of information, and it's like, I hate to break it, like, but it looks like they're actually putting effort into this next gen version, not only from the visuals, but they're making a lot of gameplay changes, a lot of new badges, the new my player builder. And this is just what we know. We still don't actually know anything about the actual online multiplayer. Suppose there's a new story from my career. We don't know what they're doing with the other modes. This looks like it could be a new era, but like JG said, none of that matters if the servers are still ass. The game could be amazing, but if the servers are still ass, I really hope it doesn't matter. I really hope they invested in, man, get that Amazon Web Services, man. Get that Amazon Web Services. Ubisoft got it. I don't actually know if they got it, but I don't know if this is like crazy to talk about, but Ubisoft announced that they're actually adding cross save to all their future upcoming titles. So I think it's going to start with Watch Dogs. Basically, if you buy a game on one platform, the save works on another. This is really cool, I think, especially for people who play like Rainbow. Let's say you play on PC, but you got some friends on console. There's going to be cross save, I guess. Do y'all think like this is the future of gaming?
Absolutely. I wish they had this last year, actually, when I was playing Assassin's Creed, because I initially strayed away from the PC version and I got the PS4 version, and I was like, man, like when I was watching somebody play the PC version, I'm like, damn, I wish I had that. But I was already like maybe 30-40 hours into the PS4 version of Assassin's Creed, so I was like, yeah, I might as well just finish it. Like, I'm not gonna go to PC version, but I honestly just wanted to go back and play it. So, you know, with things like that, especially since we're, you know, now dealing with a new generation of consoles, like this is much needed. So this is actually perfect, having all the saves on the cloud, and you know, you not being restricted on one system or one platform.
Facts. My thing is like, how many games would I actually buy though, where this would be useful? Because there's not too many, and especially because Call of Duty has crossplay, so it's like
for us, probably not. I think this is. It seems like it's going to be for a specific amount of games, and I think like it's probably going to be just the games that are coming out this year or like the beginning of next year for a lot of people. Other than that, I don't really see anybody taking full advantage of this after that, because I would think at least by the end of next year of 2021, you would be into the new console ecosystem, whether it's, you know, if you get a PC or if you end up getting a PS5 or Xbox One S or X. So then it won't matter. But just the fact that like you can initially do this, like I said, before you fully transition, I think it's cool. I think it's a great idea.
Actually, you know what? Are Ubisoft games on the Xbox Game Pass? Because that could be useful. I don't know if they are. I don't want to say that they are. I feel like they're not, though, because Ubisoft has their own Game Pass. But if Ubisoft games are on the Game Pass, I could see that being useful if you own an Xbox and a PC. And you have to jump between the platforms and you get the cross save. Yo, Ethos, unmute yourself.
Yeah, what's up, bro?
Is Samurai Zero gonna have cross save? Is that in the plans?
Well, at this time, Samurai Zero is a PC exclusive. So.
Wow, your game's poor. Yeah. Well, it's just something to put out there. Be aware that Ubisoft games are gonna have cross save.
Oh, okay, cool.
Speaking of Ubisoft games, hackers hacked Watch Dogs Legion. How do you guys feel about that?
The irony.
Yeah.
Apparently some ransomware group or whatever, they hacked and they have the source code for Watch Dogs Legion, and they're threatening to release it for free to the public. Nobody really knows why. They just want to do it. I guess they put it on a paste bin or whatever. And like, I was reading this, I was thinking, you know, this is kind of funny, like the irony y'all said. Then I thought, I was like, you know, is this a publicity stunt? Because the game's about to come out. And it got us talking. I was like a conspiracy. I was like, is this a publicity stunt? Like, they still haven't released it. They threatened. This article is from 7 days ago. They never released the code. So it's been, now I'm thinking like, is this all just, you know, they're just trying to get some attention for Watch Dogs Legion, which I feel like they don't even need it, because I feel like people are paying attention to the game. What's the name? What would you do if somebody hacked your game, Ethos?
I would hope they wouldn't. I mean, I haven't done anything wrong.
This guy.
It's not about whether or not you did.
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know what I'd do. I'd be upset, but you know, I don't know. We have security measures and encryption and shit. So I mean, I feel like we're pretty secure, but I mean, there's no such thing as ultimate security. So it is what it is, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Anybody have to add anything? I just put this out there into the world, let people know. I don't know. Let's see. Tom Holland is Nathan Drake. Does anybody care?
He looked cool.
Yeah.
He
He beefed up a little bit for this role, so it looks all right. But I'm still not excited about the movie. I don't care if Tom Holland is. I don't care who was going to be cast as Nathan Drake. Am I excited about seeing a damn Uncharted movie? Hell no.
I mean, yeah, he looks like Nathan Drake in the picture, but I mean, if there's a movie from like the 80s, I could watch it right now. It's the same exact thing. Pretty iconic. Kylo Ren killed him. I was just about to watch that movie. You got any takes on this, 17? Do you care about the Uncharted movie?
I don't care whatsoever. I was kind of caught by surprise that Tom Holland was him. I thought they would choose like, I don't know, Chris Pratt or something, but I don't know. He looks like he's like 14, but he's like 24. I don't know, but props to him.
It's a Spoiler's doppelganger, the eternal 14-year-old. When is this movie supposed to come out?
That's a great question. I have no clue.
They said nothing about it.
Nobody knows.
Somebody photoshopped a beard on him if you scroll down. That's funny.
Let's see. Doing quick Googles. July 16th, 2021.
So look out for the Uncharted movie. If you go to Tom Holland's Twitter, you can see the picture that we're talking about. It's just him standing in front of like a blown up building, what it looks like. And then he's got the traditional Nathan Drake all brown outfit, ready to go on an adventure, just like the guy that got killed by Kylo Ren. You think there'll be a boulder in this movie that'll chase him?
Oh my god.
And like some treasure, maybe?
Now there's gonna be a train that's gonna explode. And
He's gonna run on a train.
Yeah, he's gonna be struggling to prop himself up. There's gonna be some buildings that are gonna collapse. There's gonna be some crazy chase scenes in the car.
Right. So he's gonna get chased by the train, and then the train's gonna blow up, and then he's gonna use a whip to like catch on to something and swing around. Swing around like Spider-Man. They're gonna do a little Spider-Man thing.
Spider-Man little Easter egg.
What about the Monster Hunter movie? Did y'all see that trailer?
Oh God, please.
Unfortunately.
That shit looks horrible. What is with these video game movies, bro? Like, what the fuck does T.I. have to do with Monster Hunter?
Yeah, there's already a terrible connotation about video game movies, which have been right. Like, video game movies have historically been terrible. And of course, everybody talks about Mario every single time we talk about video game movies. But you're not making it any better. Casting T.I. in a Monster Hunter movie and then showing this, like, I'm not excited about this. This is I don't understand what their point was of making a Monster Hunter movie. It's not needed.
Well, first of all, the movie has, the trailer has like every military stereotype in there. They're just, go, 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 bravo, bravo. They're just making all these crazy fucking army stereotypes. And then on top of that, what is this movie about? Because Monster Hunter is about grinding loot and fighting big ass monsters. Is this movie about grinding loot? Because that sounds terrible.
Has anybody played Monster Hunter here, or like is
I played
Avid?
I played Monster Hunter 4 on the 3DS, and I played Monster Hunter World on PS4.
Does anyone know like what the full lore is on Monster Hunter? Because I mean, you know, at base value, that's all. Yeah, that's all that I got out of it. So unless it's a lore that we just aren't aware of because we're not like avid Monster Hunter players, then yeah, I have no clue. Your guess is as good as mine. But like, if you saw this movie, like if it didn't say Monster Hunter, this movie could be any other movie. It could be a freaking Michael Bay film. It could be Transformers. It could be Godzilla. It could be anything, right? Like, that's exactly what this looks like. So I have no clue.
Don't kill me in the comments, but from what I remember, when I played Monster Hunter World on PS4, I don't remember if there was a story or not. I didn't play it enough because I just wasn't interested. But I did play a lot of Monster Hunter 4 on the 3DS, so don't kill me. From what I remember on the 3DS, it was kind of like you made your own character, you go into the hub world, and then your boss gives you a mission, and he's like, hey, the dragon's threatening the village, go find him, and then you have to literally go hunt him down and kill him, and then you get better loot. That was what I remember. I don't remember anything that was like, oh man, this is really engaging. I'm pretty sure World was better because there was cutscenes in it. But from on the 3DS version, nah, I don't remember no story, no crazy.
No, Megan Good is in this movie too. Like, and this is directed by, the people that made Mortal Kombat and Resident Evil. Oh boy, yeah, I'm like looking at the premise here, and yeah, I still don't fully understand.
So
but
this is straight to Disney Plus exclusive.
Oh, Tony Jaa is the hunter, huh? He's supposed to be the monster hunter here.
A monster hunter.
Oh my god.
Okay, well, whatever. I'm not excited about it.
Yeah, this shit looks it looks hard. At least like we haven't seen a trailer with the Uncharted movie, but like this screenshot, he looks good as Nathan Drake, and I'm not even an Uncharted fan. Like, I'm gonna give this movie the benefit of the doubt. It could be potentially halfway decent because Tom Holland is a good actor in my opinion. We're gonna wait to see that trailer drop. But this Monster Hunter off rip from this trailer, this shit looks like a solid 3 out of 10 off rip. You know, it's got CG in it. Any takes on this 17?
Not at all whatsoever. I've never even played Monster Hunter, and by the looks of this looks trash. Garbage.
Well, you heard the man. That's all I got on my show notes. Does anybody got anything they want to add before we wrap this one up? Is there anything I forgot? Yes, no, maybe. Oh, okay, I guess not. All right, well, you are the guest of episode 107-17, so you got the show floor. What is your closing statement for Gaming Illuminati episode 107? Go.
Well, to start, I appreciate y'all for having me on. This is an amazing thing you guys are doing. This was very fun to do, very informative. Great to hear you guys' points on certain topics, and great to have this conversation with you guys. I appreciate it. Thank you.
True. All right, Jay, you got the floor. What's your closing statement for Gaming Illuminati episode 107? Go.
17, thank you for being prompt and on time for the podcast. I'm sorry that we ended up having you wait because it was supposed to be the last episode, but as you know, we ended up having some special guests on that one, so our apologies. I also want to say that we have some more things in the works, some more things individually, whether it's video games or some other adventures, some other things that we are getting into. Have something very, very exciting coming up tomorrow, as you see. So depending on when this goes up, then you already will know or not. So I'm excited about everything, man. 2020 is still not over. We got a couple of months, but it's a whole lot of shit that's still on the way. So I appreciate everybody that continues to show us support, but we ain't done. We ain't even hit our final form yet. It's coming. 2021 is about to be crazy.
I sure was about to say, I was like, can I announce it? Because I was like, I'm not gonna drop this before 8 p.m.
No, but that's for the Patreon people though.
True.
All
All right.
Yeah, that's for the Patreon people. Yeah, they can wait for it.
All right, Ethos, you got the so forth. What's your closing statement for episode 107? Go.
Yeah, so you can't announce it, but I can. Samurai Zero has its first build, movement build. If you check it out, if you're a Patreon subscriber to Neo Interactive, like what TBA said earlier, you get access to this build. It's going to be a tutorial level, and there's actually a gauntlet obstacle course with leaderboards, so you can challenge other players and reach the highest score, and the person who has the highest score will get free swag. So yeah, check it out if you want to try out the game. If you don't want to try out the game, it's perfectly fine. Not going to hurt my feelings. And we definitely would love for you guys to check it out and give feedback, because you guys just will make the game better overall. So just want to thank everybody for all the support all these years, especially everyone in this room, TBH, JG, everyone else in GI, and also shout out to 17. Thank you so much for supporting GI. Really do appreciate you and taking your time out to join us for this podcast. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I see a lot of people in the comments on the video version, like the last few episodes, because Ethos always talking about he's a game developer. Saying, I want to see Ethos game. He's been talking about it for years. Well, you got a chance to play it now, but you got to put your money where your mouth is. You got to actually support him. Patreon.com/Neo Interactive. You can try the game out. So there you go. And that's my closing statement. Put your money where your mouth is. Don't just be, or otherwise you just talking. So I appreciate everybody coming through to the podcast and listening. Make sure to rate this show 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. It moves us up the algorithm. It brings in new listeners. We always trying to grow. Other than that, once again, thank you, and we will see you guys on the next episode of the GI Podcast. Peace.